Left Wing Kingz. Listen, think, act, repeat.
A tragic mass shooting occurred at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl celebration parade on Wednesday, February 14th. Elisa Lopez-Galvan, a local radio DJ, was killed and dozens others were injured when shots were fired near Union Station at the end of the parade. Now, 2 suspects are in custody and authorities are investigating the shooting, but right now they're saying that it was not a terroristic act, so that's a great thing. Now, even though there were 800 some odd law enforcement officers in attendance, violence still took place. So, Ace, is public safety still a thing? Is there any place that's safe?
Nope. There's nowhere that is safe, man. I mean, we're just in a culture now that it's okay to kill. And it's funny, man. I was looking at, I don't know if you remember when they had the Texas sniper back in the 60s. Mm-hmm. And they were saying how he kind of started off this trend. And he invented the point where people now know that, all right, if I go do something public, like, kill people or do a mass shooting, I'll get some fame behind that. You know what I'm saying? So, no, there's no one safe. There's nowhere safe right now. And it's funny because I don't know how, it's not funny, but it's like the only way you kind of can make this safer is getting some kind of control of the guns, where people just can't buy guns the way they do. And I don't see why Congress doesn't see that. So, no, we don't have anywhere that's safe anymore.
Right. When you said gun safety policies save lives, period. On here it shows that every state and the county having gun death rates based upon if they followed our national leaders, which is like California, New York, Illinois, Massachusetts, and Hawaii, and New Jersey and Maryland, they're leading as far as actually gun laws are in place. And so obviously they have less gun deaths. If we followed them, we would save 298,000 lives in the next decade. Wow. If we tapped into what they are doing crazy in those states. So listen up, country. Just know that there is still hope, but we got to get on board.
Yep.
So definitely. So no place is safe because we don't have laws to keep us safe. Yeah. So we just avoid what could.
I think the funny thing is the argument that you hear a lot from some people is that, hey, putting guns in the hands of the good guys stops the bad guys.
No, it don't.
Well, 800 police officers might say that you're not right about that.
800. We ain't even bringing up Uvalde. Come on, man.
Yeah.
No, there's not anybody out there that's saying, hey, man, the cops got guns, so these people don't care about that. They're just going out and causing havoc as fast as they can. And, if we don't pass any, get any gun reform going on here, that's what it's going to be. It's only going to get worse because people now are looking at it as, I want to make a name for myself. I'm going to go out and shoot these people, and I'm going to become famous. The only way you stop that is not allowing them to have a gun.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Yeah. So there was a lot of people out there when this happened, man. A lot of people who saw this, a lot of people who were injured. How could this impact the mental health of the survivors, the witnesses, and the players on the Chiefs?
Right. Well, it says, obviously, any type of trauma is going to have some type of impact on your mental health. So you're looking at PTSD, anxiety disorders, all type of cognition and behavior. You need intervention. So now they need help in dealing with something like that. Again, anytime that you have seen or witnessed some type of traumatic experience, it impacts you. And so now you're looking at, now I got to go through therapy to, help me get back out of the house. So now I think some of these people, they may not want to go out where there's a large amount of people. People can't sleep. And I just have a multitude of things that actually impact you after seeing some type of, trauma in their lives, especially death. When you see somebody die, they said it really has some type of impact on who you are and who you're going to become in the future and how you actually start living your life or you detract from that. So kind of become inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just trauma, man, when you go through that. And my question is, are we getting to the point where we're just getting numb to the whole situation? You know what I'm saying? Like it's, one, going through it, just the incidents that I've been through in my life, and I'm not saying I've been through any, but just being at a club and going through a shooting, and somebody just shooting a gun, that just puts you through something. But now you're talking about just, mass injuries and seeing that and just the simple threat that you might have got shot. Yeah, man, it's going to mess you up. The Chiefs, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know as an organization, they don't feel good. I just don't get it why when people win a championship, we got to go ham. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like people got to start shooting or even looting or breaking up stuff. I just don't get why that comes with championships, you know. But yeah, it's big trauma out there, man. I don't think you recover from that.
And I think what you said is so true, man. It's a different perspective. Like, we're on the outside looking in. So we probably become numb to it. But when you're there and the bullets is whizzing by,
Yeah.
it's a whole different world. It impacts you totally in a different way. And I know you've been in situations where somebody got shot. You was in a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And somebody died right there.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because there was a guy on CNN who was talking about the fact that he pointed out one of the dudes that got tackled, right? And he said that he saw a group of people that had got shot, and one of them, the jaw was missing.
Wow.
I ain't seen no shit like that in my life.
Not up front.
And I'm pretty sure that this man is going to be impacted by that for the rest of his life. He might have bad dreams, whatever the case may be. This is real, like, in your face shit. It ain't something that you see on TV that happened to somebody else, man. So these people are going to need some help. And even the chief players, I think, to a perspective, it depends on the person, right? Everybody's different. Some of the chief players might like be, I don't give a fuck about this shit. It's stupid. But some of them might not feel good about going out in large crowds again. There was thousands of people there. Yeah. And you're not in control of what happens. If there's 800 police officers there and motherfuckers still got guns in and they shooting at each other, how do you feel about the next football game you go to play in? How you feel about the next appearance you go make somewhere where there's a bunch of people there to see you and sign autographs? How you feel if you Patrick Mahomes and you going, you know, there's no telling how it might impact them. Might not impact them at all. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure the Chiefs got like all kinds of like resources, and they probably got psychiatrists and shit at the ready for their players to be ready to talk to them if they need help and things like that. But what about the other 1,000 people that was out there at the event?
Right.
What about them?
And you got to know, like, even Taylor Swift, again, has nothing to do with the organization itself, gave money to the family because she felt some kind of way. So it's going to influence people to do something. You know, you're going to have some type of a feeling in regards to the event itself. And again, she has nothing to do actually with the Chiefs in itself. She's just the girlfriend of one of the players. And look at her trying to help out a family that's in need due to this unfortunate circumstance.
Well, it's just crazy that people, like end of the day, people just want to go out and celebrate Kansas City winning the Super Bowl, having a good time. And we have individuals in this country right now that want to pick those times to cause the most pain, you know, for whatever political agenda you got, for whatever's going on, for whatever point you're trying to make. That's just crazy, man. I just don't get the fact that, you know, where as a country have we grown to the point to that's something that people want to do, and now we have people in fear of just going to have a good time, you know?
Yeah.
Like every championship win, celebration, we're sitting by like, what's going to happen now? Right. Do we ban those overall?
Or do we not
now?
have celebrations?
You know what I'm saying? Or it's even like the guy that was in Vegas and started shooting people. Do we shut down the strip now because everybody who's a coward and got a problem or been hurt in the world decides to go buy an AR-15 and go shoot people? And Congress is stupid enough not to ban them or make it illegal to sell them? You know what I'm saying? I don't think you stop that because there's illegal ways to do that. But at least if the country gave a damn and put some laws out there, we could deter maybe some people. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you know, end of the day, if you're a killer and you're just trying to do that stuff, you're going to find if there's a will, there's a way. You know what I'm saying? But come on, man, we got to do something, man. I mean, you know, we're shooting up schools, we're shooting up Super Bowl events. You know, it's gun violence. And we want to play a blind eye to that. You know, that's crazy.
Well, Peter on YouTube said, and Peter, what's going on, Peter? From the UK, always representing.
Peter from the UK.
Got our back. So he said, we in the UK are no exception. Years ago, just 20 miles from me, had a chap called Michael Ryan who went on a shooting spree with a handgun. It was this and a few others that actually changed gun laws for them.
Yeah, and they already had tough gun laws, and they changed their gun laws. So
from one individual, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have multiple incidences, and we still sitting here talking about the same thing day after day, week after week.
Yeah, I know you didn't look it up, Wanda, but I'm pretty sure the numbers of just gun violence we've had for the years are astronomical. I know.
We talking about guns and gun violence and all of this, and yeah, there's laws that we need, and I'm gonna get into that in a minute. But a bigger question is, like, we wouldn't need gun laws if guns weren't always the first damn thing we go to. So why do people always go to guns first when they upset?
I already told you. I think it's dominance and control. Because if I have a gun, even me being, look how small I am. Me and Adrian, if I have a gun, I'm winning. You know what I mean? Like it's just control and dominance.
I was like,
You are. Adrian might win,
what's in that Aquafina bottle over there?
You know what I mean? Like that'll make me feel extra. Like now I'm the Hulk because I have this weapon here that, if he doesn't have one, of course, then I'm gonna win on this fight. So to me, it's just I don't know, a machismo, I guess. I guess best to say. So that could be like a cultural norm, see, who's the bigger guy? I got the bigger gun and, I win.
Well, we're in America. Now, let's be real. Like we're in America and we're from a gun culture. I mean, the West was all about a gun culture. They said Sam Colt made every man equal when he invented the Colt 45, plain and simple. I mean, that's just what it is. So Americans resolve their quarrels in violence and with gunplay. I mean, it's just what it is. Guns written in our Constitution. We can all have guns, and that's everybody's defense. Well, that's a constitutional right. Yeah, because back in the colonial days, they had a occupying army here, the British, that had guns and could just kick into your house and kick in your door. So they made a lot of everybody could have a gun. But that's an old law. Mm-hmm. Like you said, we got people here that are able to protect us. Have the guns to do that.
Right.
But and I own guns, so I'm not saying that we shouldn't own guns completely.
Right.
But I mean, it should be harder to get a gun than it is a driver's license. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like anybody shouldn't be able to go get no gun. You shouldn't be able to go to a gun show and buy automatic weapons, man, and then take that automatic weapon at 18 and walk out, and shoot into a crowd and kill people because you just want to make a statement, or walk into a school because you just want to make a statement. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem this country got. But yeah, guns is knitted into who we are as an American, like apple pie and baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just woven into who we are as a country. And unfortunately, it's biting us in the ass right now.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you said. I will caveat that by saying we've become more likely to go to our guns initially, whereas in the past, when we came up, and even before that, the first place we'd go is we talk. Then it's like you get into an argument. You got a beef with somebody, right? Mm-hmm. And I was never afraid because I was arguing with you that I might get shot. We might get into a fight.
Yeah.
But then guess what? There's two things that can happen after that fight. We keep beefing, or we shake hands and say, all right, dog, whatever. And we go and we become friends again, or we don't, and we just move on. We didn't. Now you can't, there's no escalation anymore.
No.
It jumps from, I'm mad to I'm going to shoot you. Rather than I'm mad, I'm going to talk to you. Okay, we can't get through to each other. We going to box. And then we box, and then you know what? Maybe, to your point, because this is a gun country and because we have guns, maybe somebody gets shot after that, right? Even drug dealers back in the day used to tell a motherfucker first, get the fuck off my corner.
Yeah.
They wouldn't just shoot motherfuckers because they was on their corner. Now they do. It just went from something that was an escalation to a gun to now it's the first spot people go to. And that's what I'm wondering. Like, when did this become option one? Kill a motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people out here just afraid to take an ass whooping. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and guns are accessible. You know what I'm saying? So, and, I blame the video game culture. It's a lot of people that grew up playing video games and don't understand the power of, like, when you shoot somebody or you pull a gun out in real life, what that is. Ain't no respawn. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no coming back to life. That's serious. And I just think that some video games that kind of portray some violence that people doing it influence people to the point where, will numb them to the point where they'll pick up a gun and shoot somebody. Because that's what they do on video games anyway. I don't think that the video game influenced them. I think that it just numbed them to the point where they don't understand the ramifications of what happens if you shoot somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's the difference from my grandfather's generation to my son's generation. In between there one of the influencers is video games. Like my grandfather and them, like you said, would probably, I mean, a gun, that was a serious escalation. Like you know, you did something to my wife, so I'm gonna come shoot you now, you know, or, you know, but we gonna, you know, any other minor argument, we gonna talk about it, we gonna fist the cuffs, we gonna go at it like that. To now where even a minor argument, something that's even meaningless, they're getting shot. And I think that one of the influences of that is the nullification of that through video games.
Yeah. And one of the things I want to influence you to do is click on that like button. Make sure that you click the like button if you like this content. Also, share this on all your social media platforms, every single place you can, and subscribe to Left Wing Kings. So, with that being the case, I want to go to a question real quick on YouTube. We got Steve. Steve said, it amazes me that you can't get any gun laws in Congress passed at all, not even ones that take small steps to help with gun control. And with that question being asked, I want to ask you guys, will Congress ever pass some sort of gun control law?
Well, like Steve said, I think federal, no. But this is the only time, you know how I am about state laws. But I do agree that states have, you know, trumped in. Like I said, we got some national leaders that have decreased substantially, like, you know, like our California, New Yorks, and Illinois and Connecticut's versus our weak states like Texas, which is one on the list on there. So I think states are going to have to get, like, do you really care about your people? You know, do you want people to live in your states? People are not going to come, you know, if you don't feel safe, right? That's one of the number one reasons why people move places. So I do think eventually they're going to get there. I don't know if it's going to happen on a federal, just because we have too many lobbyists, we have too many people, hands, and, you know, just it's too much about money on the global level. But, you know, states, I think, yes, that we eventually will. In June 2022, they failed to ban any guns, but they also did a lot of funding for schools and for school safety. So again, I don't think people care as much about adults, but people care about their kids. So when kids started dying, you know, kind of opened their eyes like, hey, what was the number? You know, nobody worried about sending their kids to school. You know, obviously that's where people wanted to send their kids was to school every single day. And once that became unsafe, I think the conversation started. So again, I think it'll first start with some states, and it really already has, and then hopefully we can move it on to a federal conversation.
Yeah, well, the NRA is ran by Satan still. You know what I'm saying? That and Walmart. But and you know, you would even think that the NRA would say sometime, hey man, you know, god dang, we need some gun reform. Period. Like we need something. But they fight to keep automatic weapons available in this country.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after everything we go, there's some NRA lobbyists out there pushing on Congress to fight against gun reform. After everything, I mean, man, after everything we went through with guns in the last 20 years, I'm not going to talk about, you know, come on, man. They still got some jerk that's in Washington, you know, shoving money down some congressman's face, Ted Cruz, and trying to keep that bill alive, man. And it's like, what has to happen in this country to the point where, I don't know, to the point where we decide that we need to do something about gun reform, some form. Nobody's saying that you got to redo the amendment, constitutional amendment. Nobody's saying that people don't need to own guns, but we need better laws. We all can agree on that. Like, okay, people are walking into schools and shooting, bro. We probably need to do something about that.
So what should new gun control law, what should it look like?
I would say first, strengthening background checks.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be my number one, looking at people's history. And I know people, you know, they don't understand that, okay, well, that was my past. But past does have an impact on your future. So if you're somebody who has some predisposition of hurting others, you know, maybe you just shouldn't have a gun, you know, just a thought. And like you said, it's easier for us to get our driver's license, or harder for us to get our driver's license than a gun itself. So we got to at least start there on the background checks, at least.
Look, I own an AR-15, but I own an AR-15 because I don't know who else owns an AR-15. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm at with it, real. But let's be real. We probably shouldn't have AR-15s rolling around in the country, especially to people who can know how to make those things fully automatic. They have all kinds of triggers for that. So they really need to clamp down on what kind of guns that can be sold. Like it's a difference between if you're a hunter and you're buying hunting rifles for that sport, and if you own an AR-15, because what are AR-15s for? They're assault rifles. They're made to kill people.
Right.
That's what they're made for. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's something that they need to do also. They need to ban, the sale of semi-automatic weapons, and they got to get a control of that getting into this country. And they might need to stop letting people gun enthusiasts that want to go to gun shows be able to sell these across the table to anybody without a background check, without being, people a certain age. Look if you're 18 years old, you have no reason to have an AR-15 in your hand. You don't need a damn 22 in your hand, much less an AR-15. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that they can do that are just common sense laws that they can put in place that can save people's lives.